Hi everybody, welcome to another video in my little collection. This time motorcycle forks. Now I would have uploaded another video before you see this of me preparing these forks, and I thought it was best to do it in two videos. So this one is spraying clear coat on the prepared motorcycle forks. Now this is a direct, what they call a DTM, or a direct to metal clear coat. So it's effectively an etch clear coat. So I'll run through that in a second. So I just wanted to leave this first bit in of me preparing the surface, really, because a lot of people, you need to prepare the surface really well, because if you don't, it'll bite you afterwards, because you'll start to get little things occur and it will really ruin the job. So I normally don't leave these bits in. You might see the last little bit of degreasing or something, but both these fork legs have been fully degreased with a proper cloth, not a paper tissue, a proper cloth, so that it doesn't leave any little bits on there. And then this is just a tack rag. So I just, as I say, I just thought I'd leave this in so that you can see that the preparation, not just the getting the forks in the way they are, but the actual preparation of removing any grease or debris or anything like that that's on the forks is a real must, really, especially like me, you're in a home environment, because it's it's less sterile than a spray booth or something like that, but it's the situation most people find themselves in. So as I say, I'm using what they call a direct to metal clear coat. So it's an etch clear coat, and I'm doing it with an LPH80. Now, it's the first video I've made on the LPH80, and the settings for people that want to know, because a lot of people do like to know the settings. The settings, it's full fan, full fluid, basically, 1.2 tip. Now this only has a very small, very fine atomization, but a very small fan. So I suppose you could turn the fan down a little bit, but there's no need really. There's not loads of excess coming out. So literally, something like the LPH80 has, in my view, a very limited usage, because it is a relatively small fan. It doesn't put out loads. Well, that's 1.2. It doesn't put out loads of liquid. So stuff like this, it's absolutely ideal for. But any other gun could do this as well. But I thought, as I say, I'll do the LPH80 because I haven't done one on it before. So as you can see, it's just a case of I put three coats of clear coat on, but I could have put another one. I should have put another one. If I had some left, I would have done, but it wasn't worth mixing up anymore. It's just that if you're in, like we're in the UK, and I know people in the States and that will have a similar thing in the colder states, you get a lot of salt put on the roads in the winter. So something like this is really ideal, because you can get all right down to metal on the forks, and then put this etch clear coat on, and it will eat into the metal and adhere really well, and it just helps to stop the salt attacking the aluminium, because there's no worse combination than salt and aluminium, really. So that's the idea of doing this. It gives you a good look, but it gives you a good weather resistance if you're an all weather rider, and even if you're not, it makes it much easier to clean. If you're cleaning the bike with soap and water or whatever, you can just rub it over afterwards, and it just leaves it really nice, and there's no problem at all. So what you can see here, it's about 20 degrees, which is about 68, I think, for you guys in the States, but it's about 20 degrees Celsius. But you can still see I'm still using a heat gun, and the reason for still using a heat gun is because you can, although the weather's okay and the clear coat will dry or cure reasonably quickly, the more heat you can get into whatever you're doing, be it the clear coat or the actual item you're painting, the more heat you can get, within reason, the more heat you can get into it, the more thicker you can lay the clear coat on. And the thicker you lay the clear coat on, the better finish you will get, because it allows the little sprayed liquid of the clear coat to move into each other, which gives you your smooth finish, you know, because there's loads of little spray droplets, and they gradually run into each other, and the thicker it is, the easier it is for it to run into each other. So the knack, as with all these clear coat things, is to get as much on as you can without letting it run, and that's something you learn as you go along. So the more heat you've got in whatever you're doing, be it a panel, in this case fork legs, push bike frame, whatever, wheels, anything, the more heat you can get into those, the more you can spray the clear coat on, and the more you get on, the better finish you get, and also you get a better protection because the actual clear coat is thicker. So if something knocks it or bangs it in the future, you'd probably be able to polish something out, whereas if the clear coat's really thin, it would be through to the bare metal or paint or whatever you're doing. So let's talk about a bit more about the gun, because I know people like to hear about the gun, and as I say, LPH80 is the first video I've ever done using it, because I rarely use it. But you know, the plus points of it, it's a work of art, really, to be fair. It's a masterpiece of engineering. It's a lovely little gun, really well made, you know, really well put together, really well finished, produces excellent results. The major drawback of it is a little gun. You know, it's a 1.2 and it is a small gun, and it's physically small, which if you've got bigger fingers like me just feels really odd. It feels like a toy. It's not a toy, but it feels like a toy. And if you're used to using something like an SRI Pro Light or an ANIR 150 or 160, it is small compared to them, and it also doesn't create anywhere near the size of fan that they do, and it doesn't put out as much material as they do. So it is only suited for the smaller stuff, really. I mean, I've no experience of airbrushes whatsoever, but it would be how I would think a sort of like a big airbrush would be. You know, it's very fine atomization, and as I say, there's no doubt about what it does. It does superbly well, but in the arsenal of you know, someone doing what I do, it doesn't really have a place for a load of uses, really, I guess. And as I say, these come along, and I thought, well, this is ideal to do a little video of using a direct metal clear coat, because not a lot of people know about it, but it's definitely the stuff to use if you're clear coating your engine casings. If you've got engine casings, whether you've polished them or not, you know, if you've painted them, put this clear coat over it. Most engine components you'll get away with putting it on because of the heat. You can still, you know, it still doesn't yellow, it stays okay. Obviously anything extreme, you'd probably get it to bubble or turn yellow, but certainly most of the things I've done in the past, it's been absolutely fine. And it's, you know, it's just a good way of protecting whatever you've done. So if you've polished some engine casings or, you know, clutch covers, things like that on your bikes, it's an ideal thing to put over the top, just to stop the weather getting to it and to stop you having to keep polishing it. And as I say, it adheres really well because of that, effectively the acid effect. So you'll see again, I'm using a heat gun. As I say, it's 20 degrees, may even be 21 degrees Celsius, so you know, a few degrees more and it would be absolutely ideal for painting. But still, I'm putting some heat into it just to get that clear coat cured a bit quicker, so that any chance of a run will be avoided. And as I say, if I'll link the two videos to each other, but I thought it was worth just talking about the spraying, really, because that's what people like, and the other video would just get in the way. And that little bit there is just the end cap. It's a cap that goes over and holds the front wheel spindle on, because it's an off-road bike, so the part of the top is done for gators. So that's the finished article. I tried to get it as close to the camera as I could without banging myself on the head. but I think you'll agree it's come out really well. The outside is the bit that you want the most, looking the best, because the inside you don't see, so that's the part you want looking the best, and I think you'll agree it's looks okay. Well, thanks for watching another video anyway. Take care, cheers, bye bye.